Okay, hello everyone. In this video, we are going to be seeing some jam questions, some jam type questions you should expect in your exams. Okay, so this topic is waves, so different waves question, especially the introduction to waves. Now, we start with the first one here. Number one says, which of the following best defines a wave? A says a disturbance that transfers matter from one point to another. This is a problem with this. B says a disturbance that transfers energy from one point to another without permanent displacement of matter. C says the movement of particles in a straight line. D says the transfer of heat by direct contact. The correct answer to this question is B, a disturbance that transfers energy. Wave transfers energy from one point to another without displacement of the medium. Okay, so that leads us to the second one. It says, which of the following waves does not require a material medium for propagation? Now, only a the answer is C here, radio waves, because radio waves is one of the electromagnetic waves that do not require material medium. Okay, we have the microwave, radio wave, infrared ray, visible ray, gamma ray, X-ray, and we have one more that ultraviolet ray, exactly. So those are seven electromagnetic waves. They do not require material medium for propagation. Okay, so that leads us to the third one. Which of the following is an example of a mechanical waves? X-ray, no. X-ray is electromagnetic. Gamma is electromagnetic. Ultraviolet ray is electromagnetic. Sound waves is mechanical. So D is the answer. Now, the next one says, in a transverse wave, the direction of vibration of particle is, in a transverse wave, the direction of vibration of particles is parallel. A says parallel to the direction of propagation. B says perpendicular to the direction of propagation. C says at 45 degrees to the direction of propagation. D says in the same direction as wave velocity. The correct answer is B. A transverse wave always travels perpendicular to the direction of propagation. Okay, that's very important. Now, the next one, number 5, sound waves in air are classified as longitudinal because A says they travel at a very high speed. B says the particles vibrate perpendicular to the wave direction. C says the particles vibrate parallel to the direction of the wave propagation. D says they can travel through a medium. The answer to this question is C. A longitudinal wave always vibrates in parallel to the direction of the wave, and sound wave is an example of a longitudinal wave. Very important. Okay, so number 6 says a stationary standing wave is formed when two waves of different frequency travel in the same direction. That's not true. This one here looks more like a interference of waves. Now, but B says two waves of equal amplitude and frequency travel in opposite direction. C says a single wave reflects off a soft boundary. D says a wave travels through a medium of changing density. All of this does not make sense. The answer to this question is B. Okay, now this is one difference between a standing wave and interference. Both of them looks alike. They have the same diagram. Okay, but the difference is that a standing wave, the combination of two waves travel in opposite direction, but in interference the two waves travel in the same direction. Kindly note that, please. Now, number 7, which of the following is true of a standing wave but not of a traveling wave? Okay, A says it has nodes and antinodes. B, it transfers energy along the medium. C, it has a definite wavelength. D, it has a constant frequency. The answer to this question is A. Now, every standing wave is characterized by nodes and antinode. Okay, that point where they meet is what we call node. This is a node and this is a node. Okay, then this up here we call it antinode, and this is what the traveling wave looks like. a standing wave looks like. A traveling wave, if you plot the graph, it looks like transverse wave. So a traveling wave, when you plot a graph of distance against time, it looks like a transverse wave. So when two traveling waves combine together, traveling in opposite direction, you get a standing wave, which is what we have here. Very important. Okay, so number 8, when a wave undergoes reflection at a fixed boundary, which of the following changes? When a wave undergoes reflection at a fixed boundary, which of the following changes? A. Frequency, B. Wavelength, C. Speed, and D. Phase. Which of them really changes when after reflection? Now the answer is D. It is the phase that changes. The frequency remains the same, the wavelength remains the same, the speed remains the same, but the frequency changes. Okay, speed only. Okay, that's by the way. Now number 9, which when a wave travels from a less dense medium to a denser medium, it A. Speeds up and bends away from the normal, B. Slows down and bends away towards the normal, C. Maintains the same speed but changes direction, D. Increases the frequency. The answer to this question is B. It slows down and bends towards the normal. This is very important for you to note. When you go from a less dense, okay, to a denser medium, now the wave bends, but bends towards the normal like this. Okay, but when you go from a denser medium to a less dense medium, now the wave, when you have, this is the incident wave, it bends away from the normal like this. It goes far away from the normal. This is the normal. The normal is a line that is perpendicular to the surface. So that's the normal. So from less dense to denser, it bends towards the normal, but from denser to less dense, it bends away from the normal. That's important for us to note. Now the next question says, which property of a wave remains unchanged during refraction? Which property of a wave remains unchanged during diffraction? A. Speed, B. Wavelength, C. Frequency, D. Direction. Now every other thing here changes except frequency. Now this is a very important exam question. Frequency does not change as waves travel from one medium to another. Frequency does not change. Kindly note that. Okay, thank you very much. Watch out for my for the rest next video. There are 30 questions, so watch out for the rest 30. Thank you.